I'm forwarding this video to you, our shareholders, in order to provide some significant insight into our amniotic membrane tissues. Some portions of this have been extracted from a video prepared for our educational and training series for doctors and nurses, as well as our sales staff. I think you'll find the information very informative.
This is an exciting time for MiMedx. We have 3 very unique biomaterials with multiple applications each. It seems like we find new indications for use almost every month. Our latest platform technology comes from our Surgical Biologics subsidiary, which has developed the Purion process, a novel and proprietary method that safely and effectively minimally manipulates placental tissue to create implants for a wide variety of surgical applications. Amniotic tissue from the placenta has been successfully used to treat wounds for a very long time. It is not new. In fact, there's a wide body of published clinical data going back 100 years and has proven to be very effective. With the emerging concern of blood-borne pathogens over the last few decades, the logistics issues surrounding the availability of fresh amnion, and the need for surgeons to source from their hospital's OB ward, the use of amnion was never really commercially viable. Well, that changed about 5 years ago when Surgical Biologics was formed. John Daniel and Randall Spencer pioneered a process that provides safe, terminally sterilized tissue that is packaged dry and has a 5-year shelf life. Safety and logistics problems solved.
Surgical Biologics utilizes the Purion process for amniotic membrane tissues. The process also employs some unique characteristics unlike some traditional allograft tissue processes. All placental tissues are recovered under sterile conditions. At no time are the recovered tissues ever subjected to ultra-low temperatures during quarantine storage. Second, the amniotic membrane layers themselves go through a series of gentle washes and rinses to remove potential contaminants. Third, tissue stabilization is accomplished by a dehydration step. Using this methodology, the delicate collagen matrix remains structurally intact. The dehydration process and orientation embossment is incorporated on each graft. This ensures proper placement during surgical implantation. Lastly, an inner and outer pill pouch system is used for packaging. The outer pouch is considered non-sterile, with the inner being sterile. All packaged tissues are then run through E-beam irradiation, which addresses any potential remaining bioburden.
The #1 priority at Surgical Biologics is to ensure that all allografts that we provide to the patient community are safe. The safety assurance process for our tissues begins at recovery. Strict donor testing and screening procedures are followed to ensure that no tissues are collected from donors that exhibit an increased risk for the transmission of infectious disease.
Surgical Biologics prides itself on having one of the largest living donor programs in the United States. Surgical Biologics works diligently to make the entire donation process as simple for the donor mother and the hospital as possible, and operates at no cost to either party. Once a potential donor expresses interest in donation, Surgical Biologics will contact the donor mother directly and explain the donation process in further detail. Surgical Biologics will, at all times, maintain close contact with the donor mother's physician and any family members the donor mother will request. In a process managed and paid for by Surgical Biologics, the donor mother will also be screened for infectious diseases. The screening process is carefully performed to meet the company's high standards for safety. This screening process meets or exceeds the requirements set forth by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the American Association of Tissue Banks, and other regulatory bodies, and will be kept confidential according to all HIPAA laws and regulations governing the privacy and security of patient information. The safety of the donor mother and her newborn is the highest priority at Surgical Biologics. The actual donation process occurs only after the birth has taken place and does not preclude either cord blood donation or any hospital requirements. Surgical Biologics is committed to providing a risk-free and painless way to donate tissue to help patients in need, and will continue to encourage participation from existing physicians involved in the program, as well as welcoming all interested physicians in becoming a part of our pioneering efforts.
The implantation of this material may stimulate the body's own healing response and own cells to come in and promote repair. However, another approach, which is a little more complicated, is to use the biological scaffolds as a delivery vehicle for stem cells. This may be an approach you want to take in a patient who has a diminished endogenous supply of cells, such as an older individual, a diabetic individual, or a patient that's had radiation therapy. Why is that an advantage? Well, the biological scaffolds, as we've talked about, have extracellular matrix components which promote cell adhesion and differentiation of cells. So these may be an ideal scaffold for delivering the cells, maintaining their viability, and having the implanted cells help to promote the healing process.
The market opportunity for our tissue is tremendous. The 2010 iData report estimates that the U.S. wound care and tissue management market is in excess of $7.4 billion. The surgical biologics tissue has applications in a very large subsegment of this market, including diabetic foot ulcers, venous ulcers, anti-scarring barriers, burns, and other tissue traumas.
To me, the proof's always in the pudding. And so in getting together with Surgical Biologics, I asked them to see if I could use a graft for one of my patients, and I was very impressed with the results. And I did see the proof in that pudding, and that's what kind of created and invoked my interest in further looking into this. Over the past year and a half, I'll be happy to say I've enrolled patients into a short study and have had successful results. And ever since then, it's created this amnion passion for me. So I do see that a very unique product here that is not on the market, yet there are a lot of products very similar to it in the sense of what they claim, but I do think this product will ultimately surpass those as far as results are concerned.
Our estimate of the total potential market for our tissue is several billions of dollars.
I hope this information will create the same enthusiasm for you as a shareholder that we have as operating management and clinicians. Our amniotic membrane is one of the most significant clinical breakthroughs in today's healthcare market.